Hey everyone, Django Fett here. Welcome back to another episode of the Awesome Mandalorian podcast. Today, once again, with my friend Captain Awesome.
Hey guys.
And we got another special guest, and it is Darwin.
Buddy.
I'll put Caps and Darwin's information in the description down below, so please be sure to check them out. And for today, we are going to be talking about our top 5 TV shows of last year for 2019. I'll start with number 5 and then go down from there. And I know these guys have not watched as many TV shows as I have because I've been going pretty crazy with last year. But they're still going to comment here and there with their TV shows. So with number 5 on my list, I have Stranger Things Season 3. So with Stranger Things, this I think was the best season by far for me, in my personal opinion. This had great 80s aesthetic with the monsters, and then you also had a really good theme of them growing up at the end, as well as fighting the monsters and them banding together. And I feel like it was a proper send-off for Stranger Things, in my opinion. I don't think it should do anything more for Stranger Things, but I think it was a really fun and really respectful to like the 80s, movies and so forth, and drew a lot of inspiration from that. And I just really loved this season overall.
I still have not watched Stranger Things. I do want to because I've heard so many great things about the 80s nostalgia, the characters, the storylines, everything about it sounds fantastic. And I'm hearing season 3 was incredible. So I am looking forward to finally watching the show, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
So my number 4 is Mindhunter Season 2. Now, I love Season 1. I thought that was super underrated when it came out on Netflix. And I've been waiting for this for quite some time, like 2 years or 3 years in the making. And this pretty much is a continuation of a psychological thriller and a murder mystery with the FBI trying to solve these murders that have been occurring in, I think it was the 60s and 70s, and I think going into 80s, I think. But it was a really interesting continuation of season 1, and it really focused on real life murders. And I don't know if it's exactly from the history of the FBI, but it was a very interesting to explore the murders and the murderers' minds into committing these atrocities.
My number 4 is Titans. I was like, when I saw the trailer, I didn't give it a chance because of all the dark and stuff. And when I actually gave it a chance, it was really cool, even though, sometimes the story is here and there. It's kind of the timeline or the whole, it's kind of mixed. But I actually like the first season. I haven't watched season 2 yet, but I really like the first season.
I think both of your shows sound very interesting because I heard that Titans was actually a lot better than what people thought it was. Especially with the whole dark tone and some of the changes to the characters was a bit questionable, but it sounds like that was actually better than what people expected. And also, your mystery, basically thriller killer show and everything sounds very fascinating, Django, and I would be very interested to watch it because I do love thrillers, mystery.
So my number 3 is The Witcher Season 1. So they're going to have a Season 2 at the end of this year, which I'm super excited for. But I was really looking forward to this because it's The Witcher. I love the Witcher series, and Henry Cavill is playing as Geralt, which is so awesome. And the interviews that he's done talking about this TV show, basically saying that he actually played the games and understands the character of Geralt quite a bit. So when I watched this, I saw it instantly. He was perfect as Geralt, and this is quite possibly, I think I can say it at this point, is the best video game iteration, even more so than Warcraft in my opinion, even though I love Warcraft. I think this is the best video game adaptation into a TV show or a movie, whatever you want to call it. It really drew a lot of inspiration for the video games as well as the source material, as it's really based off the books. I think they were really respectful towards the lore and everything, and it was a really fun and engaging season, and I can't wait for season 2. It's going to be awesome.
My next one is also The Witcher. Even though I never read the books or played the game, I need to continue watching, but from what I've seen so far, it looks good, and like Henry Cavill is really good as Geralt. When I finish it, I think I will maybe like it more. I don't know, but wait and see, I guess. And sure, it could be good.
When it comes to the Witcher TV show, I don't really know much about the novels, nor do I know anything really about the video games, but I've always been a big sucker medieval epic fantasy universes, and I do like Henry Cavill, and I definitely will check out this TV show in the future so I can give my thoughts. But what I've been hearing some really good and interesting things about the show, so I'll be interested to watch it in the future.
So my number 2 is Umbrella Academy season 1, because they're gonna have season 2, which I'm excited for as well. This was by far one of my favorite, if not my favorite, comic book TV show of this year, or last year I should say. And I think this is the future of comic book source materials, and transversing to TV shows instead of movies, because I feel like they can do so much more with the TV shows. They can have more episodes and they don't have to cut out all the fluff. Like, I didn't really know much about Umbrella Academy before that, but when I watched it on Netflix, it was just a really fun and engaging, compelling story with all these different characters with their different powers. And really, I think from what I saw, it seemed very respectful to the Dark Horse comic series, which is based off. I'm super excited for season 2 because they're gonna do some crazy stuff. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I loved it. It was the biggest surprise of this year.
The next one is Doom Patrol, and I really had fun with Doom Patrol, especially Brendan Fraser as Robot Man. I really loved him, loved his character, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, sure, it's swearing, but I liked it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Characters are fun. Crazy Jane is amazing. I really had fun with the show. I really love the characters, and I really sympathize sometimes with them when they go through hardships. And it's really good show, and I think it's a little bit underrated, but I think I liked it more than the other DC shows that came out last year, or they continued on, whatever. But if they make, I think season 2 is coming, so if it is, then yeah, I will watch that.
The Umbrella Academy, I've always been interested to read the comics of Dark Horse, and I did like the look of the trailer when I saw it. And obviously, after hearing all the praise, that's definitely the future live-action TV shows I definitely want to watch. And I definitely like the direction it's going in for the comic genre when it comes to TV shows, like you were hinting at, Django. And then for Doom Patrol, it sounds like a very fun show that's hilarious, but also very deep and meaningful, like Darwin was saying. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching both.
So my number 1 is Chernobyl. Where do I start with this TV show? It's actually a mini-series of 6 episodes, but I think I can say, this is crazy to say, but I think this is by far, in my personal opinion, the best TV show I've ever seen in my entire life. I was blown away of the surreal thing it was based off with the Chernobyl accident in Ukraine, and really basing off those events, as well as the direction and writing and acting. Everything was perfect with this TV show, and you felt all ranges of emotions with this TV show. Fear, anxiety, being repulsed of what's happening on screen, with how they were trying to hide this incident, the government itself. And it's already getting like 99 or 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. When I heard that, I had to watch it, and when I saw it, I believe him. I do agree, this is by far the best TV show, and it definitely deserves all that ratings, and everyone deserves an Oscar and Emmy for this show alone. It's that great of a TV show.
One is The Mandalorian. I'm glad I watched it last year when I could. So yeah, I'm really happy, and it's a really good show, if you're a Star Wars fan. And since I'm glad they actually made a good show, and kind of dark, but also at the same time kind of lighthearted. Yeah, like characters like Mendo, and that's really awesome. The whole story was actually cool, and final. Oh, that was a great final. So I can't wait for season 2. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Mandalorian.
Okay, I just want to say that before I get to the Mandalorian, which is the one and only live-action TV show that I actually really liked last year, because I barely watched anything last year. But yeah, the TV show you mentioned, Django, sounded absolutely fantastic. Sounds like one of the best TV shows probably in the last maybe 2 decades, so it sounds very impressive, and I can't wait to check that out. It sounds like it's going to be something quite emotional and brilliant to watch for an experience. Now, The Mandalorian, I actually have watched it. And that TV show is fantastic. I think it's a great way to bring Star Wars fans back to the franchise. It's got a good balance of darkness, but also, good humor. Very exciting and adventurous for, a lot of good action. Great characters that are really exciting and also interesting, relatable.
Yeah.
And overall, the final was epic. And it got me so hyped for season 2. So yeah, that's my number one and my only number one. Yeah.
So I forgot to give this disclaimer in the beginning, but I actually didn't watch The Mandalorian until January of 2020. So unfortunately, I didn't put this on my list. I know I know it's crazy, but I actually didn't get Disney Plus until January, and then I watched the show. So I have to put it on my next year list. Well, it makes sense considering season 2 is also coming out, so I can put season 1 and season 2. So, guys, this was our top 5 TV shows of 2019. Let us know your favorites in the comment section below. Really enjoyed doing this podcast once again, Cap.
As always, and thank you for having me on.
And Darwin as well. Really appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me on again.
And we'll be sure to post Darwin's information in the description down below. So guys, please be sure to check out his content. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to please like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channels, Captain Awesome and everyone else. And we'll see you guys on the next Awesome Mandalorian podcast.
Bye, guys.